Hey, what's up, everyone? Sly here with D. D, man, 1-0, made a statement against these guys, the Steelers. Man, what do you got to say about this game, man? 30-7. Absolutely looked amazing on defense. Offense, I thought looked really solid. McCaffrey, damn, I'm glad we got him. But what do you think about week one, undefeated, one of the best teams in the NFL, man?
Man, I knew once we signed Bosa, I was like, let's go. We ready, man. I ended up doing fantasies second time with my friends, and they were like telling me, man, like, did you see preseason? Because I had like one of the last picks to get a quarterback, and one of my friends are like, yo, bro, get Kenny Pickett, man. This guy's a stud. You see him in preseason? And I was like, all right, it's my last pick. I need a backup quarterback. Let me see. I pick him up. Then I started looking up at his highlights, and I was like, what the heck, man? Got rid of him. Dude, we freaking like demolished them. I knew like when this game started that we were on lock. One, because granted, they are a young team. So this is like a team they're not rebuilding, but they're going to need more time to develop the quarterback, the receivers. They're not where they used to be when they were like elite with Big Ben. So this team's going to take time to develop. So I knew we're facing a young team, but also with our team, I just knew that we had so many freaking weapons. We had Brock Purdy. I think Ayuk had almost 150 yards with 8 receptions. McCaffrey, man, they couldn't even stop a nosebleed, man. That guy was just running all over the place. Debo was getting involved. Brock Purdy was making some huge plays. Our defense played amazing. Drake, man, like he was getting like all those sacks. They were pressuring them. Ufanga had some tackles, got that pick. Oh, man, I loved everything from top to bottom, man. We completely shut them down. They ran away from the run game. They knew right away.
Oh, they couldn't run.
Dude, they knew right away, like, the run game's over. We're just going to try to throw it. I knew right then and then it was done because all we had to do was just not make dumb penalties. I knew it should have been really a shutout. We made a couple of dumb penalties before the half, but other than that, like, they couldn't do anything, man. And so with that, like, we just completely demolished them.
What a great win, man. Honestly, a few nitpicking things I got to say. Never have Colton McKivitz one-on-one against TJ Watt. That kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, dude. He was the only one that did. He had 3 sacks. He's the only one that did anything.
Yeah, you gotta have someone like a tight end bump him or do some shit. That kind of pissed me off. But overall, man, just like, it's amazing, man. Hargrave, I think he started getting going at the end. He was stuffing the run though. He did an amazing job stuffing the run. But Drake Jackson, that's the guy we need. We need somebody out there who's gonna be at Omenu, Ebukam. Who's gonna step it up? Drake Jackson, man. He looked really good out there. So I love it, man. I love what we're seeing. Bosa, people were saying he had a bad game. I don't think so. He had 2 tackles. He had that one play that was a holding penalty, and they were double team, triple teaming every freaking play, and that changed everything right there. They obviously were focused on Nick Bosa, and even if Nick Bosa wasn't 100%, he was a decoy, man. He definitely was that decoy, and they kept going after him, double teaming, triple teaming. That, heck yeah, we'll take it, man. Then we have one-on-one coverage with Drake Jackson, one-on-one with Hargrave. Armstead did great against the run. That first sack, who got it? Drake Jackson. That was called because Armstead brought that pressure. So I loved it, man. And Charvarius Ward played great. Ufanga, man, when he intercepted that, he was just flying.
Yeah.
That's freaking amazing. You got to sign these guys right now. Brandon Ayuk, Ufanga. We got the money. Let's sign them to these long-term contracts before they get more expensive. Because, man, that was beautiful, man. I'm looking at it, man. I really think we're focused for that number 1 seed. All these years we had started off slow. So we had to go to the playoffs, go on the road. Nah, man, we want home field. We want at Levi Stadium, baby. So let's just go 1-0. Bring on the Rams, man.
And one thing I wanted to add, they said with the Nick Bosa. So yeah, he was getting doubled and triple teamed, but I personally love that because it opens up the other guys.
Oh, yeah,
so with
that's
Drake,
right.
Drake Jackson had 3 sacks. I believe Hargrave had a sack.
1 sack, yeah.
And someone else had a sack. But we had at least 4 players with at least 1 sack. And with Drake Jackson leading the way with 3.
Kerry Hyder.
Yeah, Hyder. There you go. And with that, you saw like our defense was like, dude, they were on point. Just besides Lenore with those 2 dumb penalties right before the half.
Stupid.
That was the only thing I would critique about the defense. Other than that, they were like, the Steelers couldn't do anything, man. Like I said, they're a young team, so they're still developing. But man, all the hype was on wasn't it Najee Harris that he was
shut him down
right away.
His ass down.
And also the other receiver who ended up getting hurt, he was pretty good. I think it was Dante. I forget what his last name is. Yeah, Dante Johnson. So he was also a very good receiver, but it's still like he's not gonna beat you by himself, man. And even with their defense, man, Watts is freaking elite, just like his brother, man. But he can't win it by himself. So they're a young team, but man, we shut it down. It was over, I believe, by the first quarter in my eyes. The only thing I would critique about Shanahan, which I'm like surprised. Usually I have like a whole list of things I would critique on him. The only thing is with McCaffrey, just give him some rotation, man. I didn't like that he had him in the whole game because Harbaugh, one thing that used to piss me off about Harbaugh, I love Harbaugh, but he used to run up the score and keep all the starters in. And with that, when we were up
McCaffrey was still in there,
27, I didn't mind that he was still in there up until the fourth quarter. At least during the third quarter, I wanted to see some rotation. I wanted to see Mason in there. I wanted at least even like Eli Mitchell. I know he gets hurt a lot, but I wanted to see more rotation so that way McCaffrey's not taking the whole load and he's fresh for the following week because that was the game again in my eyes. Like it was over by the first quarter. Even when they had that last second touchdown, they had to like force it, man. They were like, Kenny Pickett had to make some plays and right then and there, if you know you're in control of the game, is like don't freaking rush it, just like Harbaugh used to do. Like don't like force it, like your players like just have some rotation and like risk injury free, man, because we got to stay healthy this year. Last year, that's what knocked us was the whole injury. This year, we got to be smart about it.
Yeah, and I thought Purdy played a pretty great game. The first half, he was on fire.
Yeah.
Obviously, second half, he was getting pressure from TJ Watt.
Yeah.
You know, we got to do better protection on that. We got to have more than just 5 guys protecting. You got to have tight end, even fullback, have juice. Elijah Mitchell's and Chris McCaffrey are pretty good blockers. I don't know why we weren't blocked by protecting them. It seemed like it was just like everyone's out, 5 guys protecting, and he was getting tagged. Later on, one concern I do have, I'm going to say it, and I didn't like our backup defensive linemen. Remember, every time it seemed like they were driving down the field, and then our stars would come back in and then we would hold pause.
Yeah.
Kinlaw, no pressure. Givens, no pressure. Austin Bryant, absolutely no pressure.
Yeah.
It seemed like those were kind of pissing me off. Remember, they got the first touchdown drive at the end of the half?
Yeah.
We had all those guys in, no pressure at all. So that's one thing a little bit concerning. I would love to have T.Y. McGill come back in off the practice squad because I think he brings better pressure than Kinlaw, better pressure than Givens. So that's one little thing that I would say I would critique is that right there. But overall, man, I love what I saw from Hargrave. Armstead looks like even though he didn't get a sack, I liked he got pressure, and against the run, he was stuffing that freaking run. Najee Harris going to get nothing over him. So I absolutely love that right there. So I just think this team is just complete, man. And the best part about this game, even though we won the game, really no big injuries.
Yeah,
no big injuries right there. So
I know, I was getting nervous when I saw Trent Williams, and he was like this. I was like, oh gosh.
He was at one place, but he came back. So you couldn't ask for a better start. And this team's rolling, man. We're ready to go. I know a lot of teams picked us to win a Super Bowl, but some people had Seahawks winning the division. That kind of pissed me off. So I can't wait to play those fools. But it was absolutely a great win, man. I just feel that this team really doesn't have many holes out there. And if Drake Jackson could be that missing piece, man, we won't have to trade for another defensive end. So we'll have to see what happens there, man.
And also, let's not forget our biggest stud, our third rounder, Moody, man. He was 3 for 3 on kicking, man.
Yeah,
I was, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous during the preseason. This guy was missing everything, but man, clutch. He came in clutch, man. He had his 3 for 3. He didn't miss a field goal at all. So, man, good on him, man, for coming back from the injury. And he, especially, it kind of reminded me too when they had the kickers practicing to see if like if it was gonna be hurt for replacement. It reminded me, remember a couple years ago when Akers was missing everything, and they brought in competition to see like, let's see if you want to keep the job. Man, he showed today. He's like, nope, I'm the kicker, man. Like everyone, calm down. When it comes game time, I'll make the play. So that was cool to see, man. And I hope that continues.
And I hope right now that the 49ers are working on a contract for Ayuk. Get him signed before he's worth even more, because that first game he went off and we knew he was going to have a big season. So I have a feeling next week against the Rams, I have a feeling Debo is going to be the one that's going to freaking tear it up next week. He had 55 yards, I think 5 catches, solid game, but I feel next week he's going to get a catch on fire, just like Brandon Ayuk this week.
And I want to add in also, lastly for Brock Purdy and Brandon Ayuk. So like you said, Brock Purdy was making some plays. He was getting pressured a little bit, but he threw away the ball when he needed to. He had some amazing touchdown to Ayuk. And like I was saying, man, like I knew like when the first drive, because when that little bitch freaking Patrick Peterson, when he was talking all that shit, like, talk to me next week when I got a pick from Brock Purdy. Well, you got 2 scores on you from Ayuk. And like we were talking about previously is because we have so many weapons, because we got McCaffrey, we got Kittle, we got Debo, because of like all those weapons that we have, players like Ayuk, Ronnie Bell.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that they're going to have the opportunity to make those plays. So you saw all eyes were on Kittle, all eyes were on Debo, and Ayuk was just coming out of nowhere, man. Brock Purdy would throw it, and then out of nowhere, Ayuk would just come, snatch the ball, get an extra 10 yards, and man, he was tearing up Patrick Peterson. And so, like I said, with those guys, with all eyes on the superstars, those are like our chances to like capitalize on it. And those guys, man, I can't wait for them to make the plays. And I hope they get more of the rotation because people like Ronnie Bell, people like Jordan Mason, like I want to see them more in like the rotation going forward. So less injuries and we're fully healthy by playoffs.
All right, let's look at this, man. We saw a tweet. We'll put it up on the screen. It's Grant Cohn right there. He kind of said that Brock Purdy kind of didn't have a good arm. It kind of didn't look that great. I kind of look at this tweet right here, and it kind of pissed me off. Like, dude, I thought Brock Purdy played a solid game.
Yeah.
Man. I really thought he was playing a solid game. But what, do you agree with this tweet right here?
Hell no, I don't agree. And I don't like agree with like anything he said. Like, I'm a Shanahan like hater,
Yeah.
but because I want to win, I feel sometimes with Shanahan, he lets his ego get ahead of him. But man, Grant Cohn, I feel like sometimes I'll be looking at his tweets. It doesn't even seem like he's a Niner fan. This guy is just
He's
like
not a Niner fan. Well, he kind of is, but he says he's not.
yeah, like he just
stupid
like
shit he says.
yeah, he just talks a lot of shit about the 49ers. And then it's like, dude, I get it. You love Trey Lance. We all have our favorite
That's it.
players.
That's it right
we all
there.
like have our favorite players that we want to go to and we want to them to do well. But dude, that's all in the past now. He's on a whole different team. And when you're just comparing like Brock Purdy to a guy who's not even on our team, is freaking pointless.
Yeah, I agree with you, man, because I saw this tweet right here where he pretty much said he had a water pistol arm, pretty much. I was like, dude, I thought he played great. First half, that throw to Brandon Ayuk, that strike, that was freaking beautiful, man. I have not seen that in forever, man. I have not seen a quarterback where I'm like, oh, shoot, this guy actually might make the Pro Bowl. We haven't had a Pro Bowler since freaking Jeff Garcia.
Yeah.
And the fact, I saw that, I was like, wait, what the hell is this guy talking about, man? I thought he played really good. Yeah, there was plays where he kind of did flutter, but freaking TJ Watt was right in his face, like whacking him, The second half, let's be real, man, he was getting hit. The first half he was more comfortable because he was just getting the ball quick, boom, Ayuk, boom, boom, boom. Second half didn't kind of work that way, but we didn't have to. We're up by so much, kept running the ball to McCaffrey. I thought, honestly, I thought Purdy played great. I thought Purdy played absolutely
I do
great,
love
man.
that he gets the ball out quickly because for the defense, it keeps him thinking. Sometimes I do like it when the quarterbacks, obviously, when they have like more time to throw it. But with Brock Purdy, man, it's also been a blessing in disguise because he doesn't have to lock on a receiver. He's been like saying hi, and then boom, he just makes a play right away, gets rid of the ball. And then the only time is like he'll make like one mistake, and then Grant Cohn like capitalizes like, well, it should have that great. He should have had a drop pick, that was on him.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like, bro, come on now, dude. Like everybody has that. Like
Did he almost throw a pick? He said he almost threw a pick.
It was I believe it was around the second quarter, third quarter. He threw it down the middle. I believe it was to Ayuk or Kittle. We'll replay it, but with that, they should have had a pick, but the defensive player dropped it, and it wasn't even that big of a deal because every NFL quarterback does that, man.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's what I'm saying. Is like, dude, like. Because you're gonna critique every little thing that he does. It's like, look at Trey Lance. Like, I'm like, I wanted Trey Lance to succeed, but I knew like he wasn't our guy. And that guy does the most mistakes out of all the quarterbacks I've seen so far, and he's not even a starter.
Yeah, I think that's what it has to do with it. He wants Trey Lance to start. I thought it was BS, man. Because I thought I'll give him an A-. I thought he had a really good game, man. Especially that first half, he was A+, no question about it. Second half, didn't have to do as much, didn't have to throw as much. But those third downs, he was still converting to Ayuk. We kept moving the damn ball. So I don't know. I thought he played great, and I just want him to continue to do his thing because I think I haven't seen this in a while, and I'm glad he's a quarterback. There's a reason. Yeah. Well, I'm not being messed up. This is the reason we got rid of Trey Lance because this guy, he's a guy, man. He's our guy. We're rolling with with Brock Purdy. I think he's gonna have a chance to help lead us to the Super Bowl. I think everything's right there for us. Everything's right there after that first game. The defense is cooking. Offense is cooking. I'm excited, man.
And he threw it over, I want to say 30 attempts. He was over 65%.
Absolutely
and with
amazing.
that, like no turnovers. That was like the biggest thing with Jimmy G and Trey Lance is that Trey Lance, he throws a lot of like careless throws. He'll get an interception. Jimmy G throws it like 10 times a game, so you're not going to get the ball moving forward. With Brock, he's very smart with the ball. He's able to move the ball. He's able to even throw it to type. The second touchdown, that Ayuk, man, he had a freaking dive for that, almost out of bounds. And so he's able to make some plays happen. So if he just keeps playing like that, man, like he's going to turn some heads. And let's go. Like, well, there was an amazing win today. So right on track. Hopefully the freaking Eagles lose right now, and then so we're at that number 1 ranking.
They're not losing.
Yeah.
That's what we got, man. Make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe, and talk to you guys next time. Peace.